stand. Brother, sister, doctor, sleeper. History is hidden, the truth's not written. No more running, it's time to take a stand. Won't see this coming, I am to misbehave. Can't stop it. She's everywhere, still flying. The signal goes on. Can't stop it. She's everywhere, still flying. The signal goes on. To the eyes and the ears of the first, your new perfect world was somewhat perverse. The pilot, the preacher said to the unknown, what you have left us has yet to be shown. Can't stop it. She's everywhere, still flying. Signal goes on.
Hey guys, welcome back to Encore Chat. We're here with Sean and Rob, and we're here to talk about, if you guys just heard their song, that's one of your original tunes,
Yes,
isn't it,
sir.
guys? And
Yes.
it's great. And guys, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Now, I just want to ask you a couple questions. How'd you guys get started? Whichever wants to go first.
I
You
was
start.
taking guitar lessons at SG Music, and I decided I was going to take piano lessons as well. And after two different teachers, Sean became my teacher, and we pretty much became fast friends. Knew a lot of the same music, and it was pretty shortly after I stopped taking lessons there that I started working there. And
Okay.
then we just started playing music almost every day we were working together.
Gotcha. Sean?
What he just said.
Same thing, huh? That's it.
Well, I mean, I wasn't taking lessons for myself, but I did start out as a child, and then I was teaching him, and as he said, yeah, we just started playing a lot of music together, and then we started an acoustic Floyd thing, and then just started focusing on originals one day.
And just doing that,
Yep.
yeah, which is great. Now, how important do you guys, would you stress on learning to take lessons as far as foundation and making sure that you...
Anybody can learn to play somebody's song,
Mhm.
but if you don't understand the math behind it, or just the language behind it, it's really impossible, or not impossible, but it's a pain in the butt to try to communicate with somebody that can't speak the language. So, no, I want you to do this. What?
Yeah.
If you speak the lingo, it's cool, but...
Yeah, I would kind of liken it to, you could look at words on a page and you could copy those shapes and you can claim that you know how to write. But if you hand somebody a piece of paper and, say, write an answer to this question, then they're not going to be able to do that. And I think music's the same way. You can copy licks and you can learn how to play songs, but if you don't understand what's going on, you're just going to be pretty much a copy machine.
Yeah, and now see, that brings me to the thing we were just talking about before, basis with the internet, where, we got the new technology now where kids, it's a little different where they can sit there and they can learn, you know, their Eddie Van Halen licks, or they can learn, you know, Dave Gilmour stuff. They
Right.
can do whatever they want to learn, but they're just copying.
Yes.
You know, so what's your guys' opinion on that? As far as, you know, if it's great to learn, I guess, but you
It's
tell
a
me,
good
do
tool
your
to
take on
have.
that.
It's a good tool to have because, you know, even guys like us, if there's a lick that we're just not hearing, find it on YouTube or wherever you can and pick it up. But there's something to be said about just knowing it on your own too. So, and also watching these videos or reading it out of a book, it's not going to tell you what you're doing wrong.
Right.
So you can play as fast as you want, but if your technique's awful, forget it.
You're not going to.
Yeah, you need somebody to still tell you, hey, this is wrong. You need somebody to guide you, not tell you that you're doing it wrong, but to guide you.
Yeah, so you can get the foundation, because what happens, you know, you can learn that stuff, but if someone says, okay, let's just jam.
Well, like
Yeah,
you
to me,
you said, was,
that's a defining characteristic to me is like, are you speaking the language I'm speaking? And for music, it makes a lot of sense because there are people that can play 7 chords or 100 chords, or maybe you can play a bunch of riffs, and then you're like, all right, we're just going to do a blues in A, and they freeze. And they're like,
Yeah,
you mean
it's like-
it's not written out ahead of time? And I think to really speak the language of music, there's got to be a little bit of improv coming out
Yeah,
of you.
come doing it.
And you can't improv unless you understand it from like a lesson-based foundation.
So it's, in you guys' opinion, it's so important then to do lessons and learn the foundation.
Absolutely.
To get it.
It's kind of like, I would say, diagnosing yourself on WebMD versus actually having a doctor you can ask questions to. You know, it's kind of like going to lessons is like that. You can say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, and then your teacher could specifically tailor something to remedy your technique issue. Whereas a YouTube video is just going to power through fact after fact, or riff after riff, and done.
Okay, great. Now, I question for you guys too, because this is kind of neat. The whole record business, I'm going to ask you guys, because you're doing originals, you know what I mean? And let's face it, that's the goal. That's what we wanted, you guys want to do.
Maybe.
It's a lot different now than when it was
absolutely
way
it
back
is.
then. So,
Yes,
so
yes.
how would you guys, like, what's your target or your plane? What's your game plan?
It's more a ton of networking and just gigging more than it is. Nobody really wants the record deal anymore because I've spent a lot of money and time and just heart and soul on my stuff. I don't want somebody else to own it just so I might go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just self-fund, do a lot of touring, do a lot of gigging, just do a lot of networking with every musician that kind of like we fit in with, because we don't really fit one genre anyway. So if we find that we tend to fit in with the jam bands mostly.
Okay.
So, and even jam bands, you still have prog rock elements, you still have some metal elements depending on the bands. So we're not limited to one style anyway. So it's, what's a label going to do for us anyway? Because labels need you have to be this, you have to fit this, you can't have a song like this if you sound like that. So I really have no desire to be on a label. I wouldn't mind a spec deal just for distribution.
Right. Okay. That's going to be my next question.
Oh,
As far as the
distribution's
distribution,
important,
yeah.
but anything else, there's nothing really a label can do for me.
Yeah. Now, you know, like years ago when the industry was in the let's say 70s and 80s direction, where usually a record company would sign you and then own you.
Right.
And you'd be distributed, maybe, you know what I mean? You'd get the distribution and you'd go on the, you know, tours and blah, 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 and try to build it, hopefully,
Right.
if you don't get shelved. You know what I'm saying?
And if you get shelved, you're screwed.
Exactly, because
Right.
then you're tied to it. So, so you guys, what you do now is, are you hitting like you know, all the internet, doing Pandora,
absolutely.
playing, and if you had anything to say to kids out there and stuff like that, people that want to try to make it into the business, give them some goals, or like we all
Stay
try
in
to.
school. Stay in school.
Right, you'll never get rich, but we love what we're doing.
Just
right?
stick
That's
with what you love. Stick with
Yeah.
what you know. If somebody tells you you can't do that, can't is the worst of the C words I've ever heard.
That's good now.
Thank you.
That's good.
I think just to echo that a little bit, it's really important to just follow what you think is like right, or what you enjoy doing really. And I think the game has really changed as far as if you're trying to become a successful musician, you got to really be playing a lot of gigs and having people that love the live experience and want to come see the live experience again.
Absolutely.
Because nobody's hearing your song and going out to buy the CD or the
Right.
download page. Maybe they're paying $1 for the MP3, but probably not. I think one of the few good things that came out of the internet destroying the record industry is you got to prove your worth live. You can't have an awesome record and be terrible live.
Yeah,
You're never
yeah.
going to make it. You need to be awesome live and have a pretty good sounding record.
Yeah.
So I think you're forced to prove your worth on the stage. And I think gigging is probably the better focus if you want to be playing music than it is trying to record and sell to a company.
Yeah. Well, guys, you've heard it. Now, where are you guys playing? You got anything coming up? Are you doing
Yes,
anything?
we do.
Well, please tell everybody so we know.
Thursday, April 30th at Mexicali Live in Teaneck, New Jersey. Here, see if you can zoom in on that. It's the Mostly Pink Floyd show. It's a 7-piece band. It might be an 8-piece band. And we're celebrating the birthday of the greatest person I've ever met, me. You can get tickets at SeanFaustMusic.com. I can't believe I said that.
That's okay.
We're doing a lot of Floyd stuff and a lot of originals in that set. We're also sharing the bill with Uncle Ebenezer, who's a great Fish tribute. If you like live music and a lot of improv, that's the show you want to be at. And that's pretty much the show you want to be at this year anyway. It's Thursday, April 30th at Mexicali Live in Teaneck, New Jersey. What do you think?
I think that's the one to be at, but we've also got a trip to Vermont for a show at Radio Bean in Burlington on, I believe, Friday, April 4th. April 3rd.
At 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. So Radio Bean in Burlington, Vermont. Great place. We played there last year about this time, and we're excited to be back.
Absolutely.
Good. Guys, thanks so much for coming by. I really
Thanks for having
appreciate
us,
it,
Pete.
man. Thank you. And guys, check the guys out, and we'll see you in the next Encore Chat.
Thanks for tuning in to Encore Chat. My name is Pete Schmeedhauser, and I own a small music store called Schmeeds Music, which is located in the Pine Plaza Shopping Center in Whippany, New Jersey. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I just want to stress how important it is to learn, to play a musical instrument no matter what it might be, and to really, really better yourself in learning. And I just want to thank you guys and everybody for taking the time to watch our shows, and stay tuned for more videos to come.